Oh my God. Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is the Loshak and the Bag show for the Thursday Insanity, March 1st. 12 o'clock edition. Of course, do this twice every day. We love doing this show. We love the comments. Jimmy the Bag, we are in full swing. March Madness already. College tournaments, all the hell over the place. 12 o'clock games already starting in the Big Ten Championship, NEC, MEAC, all these lower conferences, the MAC, the MAACs. It's driving me crazy, Jimmy the Bag. I love it, but it's driving me crazy, Jimmy the Bag.
It's very exciting.
It's exciting.
Extremely exciting.
It's frying me. It's frying me. I'm already fried, and Thursday has just started, but I'm going to be okay. I know there was a great comment. As you know, I live for these comments. Here we go. Comment from Dave L.A. First comment of the day. I have to read this one. I love this shit. No matter how crazy I get, I always have time for the comments. Dave L.A. says, I don't know what's more addicting, sex or Loshak in the Bag show. Oh, my God. Oh, thank you so much, Dave L.A. Dave L.A. I don't know what's more addicting, sex or positive comments on the Loshak in the Bag show. I live for this shit. I love it. And there's no guilt involved with the comments on the positive comments on the Loshak in the Bag show, which is the same cannot be said for other things that are addicting, Jim, right?
Man, it's just starting the day with these guys is wonderful. I fucking love it.
I love it too. All right, Jimmy the Bag. I don't even know where to start. College, but yesterday was a crazy day. The first thing comes to mind is that big line movement in the Ole Miss Kentucky game. Didn't mean shit. Didn't mean shit. Also, the nice little line movement on my totals play in the Nevada UNLV game also didn't mean shit, right? I gave that one at 164. Being a nice line movement there, was self-satisfied. That one went way over. So just goes to show you, as Tomarino Tomor and some other guys said, the line movements in like NBA totals, be very careful of that. But in college basketball, I'm not saying ignore them, but definitely grain of salt, right? Definitely grain of salt. I mean, the Kentucky game, for anyone who didn't catch yesterday's shows, I loved Kentucky yesterday. I bet them at 11. By the time the morning show came out, it was at 9. And then throughout the day, it even went down to 8.5. I was scratching my head. Everyone in the chat was scratching their head, too. I didn't see one comment yesterday who said, I like Ole Miss here.
Not one.
There were a few people who were, like, suggesting why the line might have moved. A few people suggesting why Ole Miss might have not been a good fade. But no one said they liked Ole Miss. Everyone who commented said they liked Kentucky. I loved it. I stuck with my play. In the 6 o'clock show, I doubled up. I took the first half, and look what happened. Look what happened, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, hugely successful, and I...
Jim swept the board in college basketball.
Yeah, that felt good. I got a lot more of that to fix my record, but we're in the right track, and this is March. This is when we should be having good reads on these games.
Everything is backwards. Jim killing it in college basketball, had a losing day in NHL.
Got killed in NHL.
So, but you also had a good day in NBA, so ups and downs and ups and downs. Oh, my God. All right, let me just do a quick save so I can save Dave L.A.'s comment here and add it to the friggin' posters and calendars if I ever get around to doing that, which I hope to do. And then we'll get into college basketball because there is a lot of, oh my God, there is just so much crap that is going on today. I don't even know where to start. Although I did look at the college basketball sides last night. The way this show goes is in the morning show, Jim tends to focus on pro stuff. I tend to focus on the college stuff. And did you have a chance to look at any of the college stuff yesterday, Jim?
You mean this morning and last night?
Yeah.
A little bit. I'll help a little bit, but my main thing will be on the afternoon show.
Okay, and then let's very quickly review what happened in the pros yesterday. Just because one of the most important things and the most fun things is always to learn, right? To review and see how things went. I wound up cashing with the Golden State Washington under, right? Not bad, not too shabby. Let's see. New Orleans continued to roll. You had an overall winning day in the NBA, Jim. A lot of nice picks, but one of your losers was the Spurs. New Orleans rolling.
Rolling. It was a mistake to make that play without Gasol in the lineup. He can control the pace.
Yeah, and I think even more so, it's just like I think it's just in general a mistake to when a team turns a corner in the NBA, like New Orleans clearly has. Be very careful about fading them. You know what I'm saying?
Be very careful, without a doubt. And talk about completely nailing the Rockets-Clippers game. That felt really, really nice. Clearing the team total under by, 15 points? 17 points. Clearing the spread by, like 7 or 8 points. It was there were some nice plays last night, and then hockey killed me.
Yeah, and then also I got with my friggin' or every time I try to get too cute, I either lose by a mile or the breaks don't go my way. I took Orlando first half plus 5.5. They lost by 6. So once again, the lesson, when baseball starts, I'm gonna stop getting cute and I'm just gonna give like solid plays and low hanging fruit. And I don't know, maybe I wasn't getting. I mean, there's a lot of one. You can't say every 1 point or half point loss was getting too cute, but feels like I've had a lot of them. And then looking at
speaking of that fucking game, Jesus, 79 point first quarter, and I push the over here and lose it on my own action because line shopping shop for me, got me 221. I had to get it at 222. 79 point first quarter, and I lost that. That was extremely irritating.
Line shopping is everything. And in NHL, Jim had an off day. The one pick that he did have that was a winner was one of his statements from a few days ago, which is Calgary sucks. And even with Colorado, who Jim did not want to bet on, Jim took Colorado yesterday, fading Calgary, and got another win fading Calgary. Other plays were not so good. St. Louis pulled out a win,
that was a mistake. And the over, taking that huge odds on the over 5 was stupid. They're offering it up again today with the Kings jackets, and I'm not going to fall for it again.
The bookies were like, fucking idiots took that yesterday. Ugh. Let's do it again. Let's see if they take it again. Let's see if Jim will take it again today.
Ugh, yeah, it was very irritating.
I'm sure if we go back historically and figure out how, totals with 5s and minus 130 money lines to the overs have done, probably it's roughly close to a coin flip. But maybe not, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I've been really getting killed in the NHL in the last week or so. From my high watermark was not long ago, and I'm almost at half of what that was. So
that's true.
It's pretty scary, and I don't think this is an easy card today. I mean, I sure capped the hell of it, and I've got some puck lines, so we'll see how it goes.
You can look at it two ways: glass half full, glass half empty. You can say you've been getting killed, or you can say, despite the fact that I've been getting killed, I'm still up almost 20 units, which is the glass half full way of looking at it, Jim, right?
Absolutely, but you can drown in unit losses very quickly in these sports, and if I don't put a stop to it, next thing I know, I'll be down, and I can't take being up for granted and adding plays that don't make sense. I was really disappointed with my hockey capping yesterday.
All right, so let's get into it. Before we get into it, I just want to look for some comments on possible handicapping value. First thing I think, Tomarino Tomor, we all respect this guy. Listen up. Listen up. Everyone listen up, okay? Including you and me, Jim. Tomarino Tomor says, I think there is value on Michigan to win the Big Ten tournament. Best guards by far. Okay? Okay? Let's see. What else do we have here? Kobe Valentine saying, let's go whiskey. I did not bet that game. That game has already started, so we're not even going to handicap that game. Scotty Rockford Eva took under 58.5. First quarter in Rockets Clippers. Winner. Nice job, Scotty Rockford Eva. Tomarino Tomor says the Clippers take a shit every time they play top team. I have noticed that. Yeah. I have noticed that. Every time they play a mid-range team or a bad team, the Clippers do well. And every time they play a top team, I look at them and I say, wow, they're taking a shit again. Look at that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And but what was the line about the bed? You can't clean a bed unless you've shit.
Yeah, that's right. I don't even remember what. That was a good joke, but I will remember it one day when I have a little bit more room in my brain. So the Clippers, it was a down spot for the Clippers. I'm glad I had the balls to take the Rockets on the first half on that one. Looking for some other, Ellie says NHL killed everything. Yeah, tough day in NHL.
Also, Elio Rodriguez, who is, he talked about how good his son is capping tennis, and he's been working with him of late, and he's just handing out winners. Handing out winners. Follow Elio Rodriguez on Twitter, and just handing out nonstop winners. Tennis winners nonstop. Him and his son are just handing them out.
Like I have said before about tennis, I don't have time to handicap it, but again, a lot of the guys, there's a couple of guys I know who model, right? And they model tennis, and their tennis models consistently are still their most profitable models out of all the sports. Just take that for what it's worth. Guys I know who model, who go up and down. Some guys have these are the same guys who had a baseball model that I told you was so negative that they thought it might have long-term value fading. So they do
Wow.
real models, up and downs, but and they used to kill WNBA. Now not so much anymore because WNBA lines have gotten tighter. But they kill tennis with their model, and it continues to work for them. So there is definitely value that can be found in tennis. I would love to handicap it some. Maybe during the summer when we have a little bit of more free time, we can dive into a tennis.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that too.
Right now it's right now it's all about college basketball.
Absolutely. Marquette City says Jimmy got lucky. +5 first half Washington. Got to stop fading Warriors first quarter and a half now. They want to start strong and rest players late. Nah, man.
Didn't you cover that one? Covered by 4, I believe.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Let's go to college basketball. Let the madness begin. I don't even know where to start. Let me just scan. Oh, there was one bet that I made, and I think I'm going to give it. We'll see if anyone has to say anything about this. But this is the one play that I was like, all right, I'm definitely going to give this one. And it is Tulane at home against Cincinnati. Now, Tulane is a big underdog, right? Cincinnati obviously awesome, but they do have Wichita State up next, right? Tulane, they distribute the ball well. They have a lot of different scores, which is the way that you can maybe keep pace with Cincinnati. And Tulane playing not so bad. Recently, Tulane went on the road and lost by less than 10 to Wichita State. So overall, adding it all up, Cincinnati could obviously dominate here. But I bet Tulane at 13.5. That's not available anymore, but 13 is still there. So I'm going to give that one right now. Tulane +13 over Cincinnati. Interesting analysis right there, Jim. What do you think about that analysis?
I think that's bang on. I really like that. I mean, I'm going to look into the game before I just follow it blindly. But man, I think you're onto something.
+13, -105. That's the line at BetOnline, sportsbetting.ag. I'm sure we will have a lot of people looking at that game and with opinions in today's show and the afternoon show. But that's one play that I will start with. Tulane +13. That's one that I definitely wanted to give. Some other interesting stuff going on, right? Of course, all sorts of crazy stuff going on with Arizona, right, Jim? I'm sure you didn't, even if you didn't look into that game yet, you know what's going on with Arizona, right? Crazy shit.
Yeah, it's just an absolute mess, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Miller would get himself this deep. Surprising.
And then what? So Trier is out, but then also DeAndre is there's a scandal that there's tape that he might have been offered $100,000, right? But he's still playing. Now, does that affect his play? My sense, probably not. Right?
In fact, I think the top athletes actually play a little better.
They might. You know what I'm saying?
I really do. The top athletes, I think they lock themselves in. They say, I'm going to show you guys on the court or on the ice or whatever on the field. So I expect, with all this negative attention being drawn to him, that he steps up his game. Although I can't say that for the team.
And the other thing is, like, if it's some kind of scandal that they know they're in the wrong, like a sex scandal or something like that, that might psychologically affect their play. But all these like money scandals, that's bullshit. They know they're not in the wrong. They're like, fuck it, everyone else is making money off of me. I guarantee you, DeAndre isn't like oh wow, I did something wrong. I'm sure inside he's like, fuck you, and he's right.
He's right.
Yeah, he's
definitely
totally right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That line has gotten bet up. It was 8.5 on the overnight line. Big move in favor of Arizona. It's now up to 10 or 10.5, Jim. And Stanford is no slouch of a team, right? I mean, they can hang in the Pac-12, right? But that line has gotten bet up. It was Arizona at home -8.5 when it opened, and now it is up to 10 or 10.5. So that's definitely an interesting game.
Stanford's looked so bad on the road, though.
Yes, that's true.
At home, they've looked like a team that should play in the tourney. And then they go out on the road and they get beaten badly. I've lost some faith in them. But that's a big spread, double digits.
Here you go. I am giving out some MLB plays, and I gave out Atlanta yesterday at -120. Dylan S. says, Loshak, I told you with the Braves yesterday, freaking give up 3 runs in the ninth. Yeah, listen, that's the way baseball goes. A lot of times, more than in any other sport, in baseball, you can be on the right side as far as EV is concerned, and then fluky shit can happen late. Yeah, that was just Braves had that one in the bag, and then the bullpen blew it in the ninth. The Mets got 3 runs, and that will happen game in and game out and game in and day out and day in and day out in baseball in the upcoming baseball season. That is totally par for the course in baseball. Losing games that you're on the right side of in the ninth inning, even more so than college basketball or anything. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, absolutely. It's but God, I'm so excited about this baseball season sitting beside you all year.
Yes. But so anyway, what I want to say is, Dylan S., I'm sorry that you lost, but I bet it. I lost, and in retrospect, I think we're on the right side on that one. It was just that that happens all the time. All right, let's see. Let's see. Tomrio Tomor, another comment. Everyone listen, including you and me, Jim and Wanma. Listen, okay? Tomrio Tomor says, I usually find teams that struggle on the road are strong on neutral courts in tournaments. Why I'm on Iowa at +10. I don't know about that. I think it depends on what kind of team they are and also how much of a home advantage they had. You know what I'm saying?
That's a very interesting point.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure I would agree with that, but I certainly am listening close because Reno Tomor said it. All right, let's see. Other college basketball games that caught my eye, and then and Jim, be on the lookout for comments that you might want to highlight with people giving insight into college basketball today. Let's see. What else is interesting? Oh yeah, wow. California and Arizona State. Arizona State also a mess, right, Jim? I don't know if you're aware of that, but Hurley had a meltdown. The team's just in a mess. California's a bad team, but I thought 17 was too many points to be giving them. I pounded that one when it opened, and now it's down to 14 or 14 and a half. I don't know if I want to give that at 14 and a half, but I might. I definitely took Cal at plus 17. I'll have to think about that for a second. Interesting to see that line movement. Other games that caught my eye in college basketball. Let's see. Marshall is getting bet up against UAB. That's kind of interesting. Oh, another bet that I think I'm going to give, Jim. We talked about Jacksonville, Lipscomb, right? Mm-hmm. Jacksonville's a team in that conference tournament that they're better than their record indicates because they were banged up most of the year. Jim and I talked about their first game against Kennesaw State, where it looked like, based on their overall year-long records, that Jacksonville should have been not necessarily a favorite there. Jacksonville covered that one easily. They're getting big points against Lipscomb. I bet them at 12.5. It's now down to 11, and I will give that one as an official pick. I will give Jacksonville against Lipscomb to a cover, and I think I might throw on the first half as well. Again, I bet it at 12.5. These lines these half points do matter, Jim. You know what I'm saying? Do they ever? Jim learned that yesterday. Even I learned that yesterday with friggin' the first half in Orlando. So these half points and points do matter. So the difference between 12.5 and 11 can be huge, but I'm going to take Jacksonville plus 11 here, minus 103. That is the current line at Pinnacle. I will take that one. Jacksonville, I think, once again, maybe a little bit undervalued based on their year-long records. So we'll see how that one turns out. And I think I might give on the first half as well. Let me just find the first half line here for Jacksonville. Let me find it. Where the hell is it? Huge card. Very hard to line shop, Jim, when there's 50 college basketball games. That's one thing that you can't get around here. Well, actually, you can. SBR Odds is customizable, and you can have it to show only the games that you want it to show. But if your plan is to handicap every single game, there's no way around it. All right, let's see. Let me just find Jacksonville. Wow, 6.5. All right, I'll take that one also. First half plus 6.5, minus 110. Intertops offering us the best line right now. Pinnacle has 6.5, minus 113. Thanks so much to Intertops. I'm wearing the Intertop shirt here. Jacksonville plus 6.5, minus 110. That's also a pick that I'm going to give, Jim.
I like it.
Any comments coming in, giving us picks or analysis on college basketball, Jim?
Yeah, Jeremy M is on Maryland. That game's on right now. Yeah. He's laying the points, and he's on the under. Melee Payless Way likes Louisville. It's an interesting spot because Virginia has nothing to play for.
Yes. Now, that can be a little bit tricky because sometimes these elite teams that have nothing to play for example, number one was Nevada yesterday, right? Nevada had nothing to play for, went into UNLV, who is a good team, blew them the fuck out.
They had revenge in mind.
Right.
So they had to send a message to UNLV. So I find that a little different. But I think you're absolutely right. This is a very tricky spot with Virginia because they're such a skilled team. I know Max this morning already said, I don't care that Virginia has nothing to play for. I'm going to take them in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, listen. When I say nothing to play for, we're only talking about from the perspective of the postseason, right? They might have other reasons, other things to play for. That's a tough one. I was thinking Louisville might be a good shot. This might be a good time to take 1 minute to do one of the things we were commanded to do today, right? And promote the March Madness tournament at Sportsbook Review. There is going to be a contest at Sportsbook Review at SBR Contests, SBR Forum, big March Madness contest only for the tournament, right? So you have a bunch of weeks, but you can go sign up now if you want to. Top prize $1,500, pays all the way down, cash prizes down to a 10th place, and pays bet points down to 30th place, and it pays out fun all the way down to last place, Jim. I just made that one up right now, right?
It does pay out fun.
I should be a copywriter, right?
That was beautiful.
It pays out cash to 10th place, pays out bet points to 30th place, and pays out fun all the way down to last place here at SBRforum.com.
I should also, we should definitely give a shout out to our man King Rail, because King Rail put Nevada on a silver platter for us yesterday on yesterday's show. Said that it was a log, said, it was one of those Maxwell Smart situations where it's just a gift.
How did I miss that comment? Fuck, there's too many comments.
Yeah, we get overloaded, but man, King Rail,
Nice job,
not
King
only
Rail.
great capper, but great guy.
Wow. Yes. There you go, J.D. Williams. Nevada had revenge for sure. King Rail says, I nailed that Nevada game, and I guess the main factor for him was just revenge because Nevada, they lost their leading scorer. They're a little bit, thin on their roster, so you might think maybe that's a game that'll take it easy, but no. And actually, if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have been so heavy on the under because I was assuming that it was a game that they might not have cared so much about. I mean, I know they have it's always tough to time revenge because, they have revenge, but they also, what do they have to prove? They just locked up the top seed, right? But I guess they did. They did have revenge, right?
Yeah, they did have revenge. But, when I look at that roster, I'm like, man, they're so small. You're going up against a team that's got, in UNLV, that has 2 guys with double-digit rebounds. That's why I stayed off of Nevada. I was like, how are they going to be able to play? Like, you'd think that McCoy would just be able to dominate this game. And yet, Nevada just destroys them. Classy stuff.
Anyway, nice job, King Rail. Great call. And yet, once again, King Rail lives in Las Vegas. And I'm just known that to people who live where the teams are playing or teams they follow closely, they have great reads on the teams that they follow closely. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. And J.P. Fahey.
Yes, and even though it's the age of the internet, you can't help but be more familiar with your local teams. That even in the age of the internet, you cannot help but be more familiar with your local teams than the rest of the teams. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah.
We should have listened. I wish I had seen that comment. I don't know how I missed it. I don't know how I friggin' missed it. Okay, let's see. Okay. Other things. Right. Oh, wow. Okay, there you go. Wow. Here you go. J.D. Williams, UNLV shit talked at Nevada. I didn't even realize that. I wasn't aware of that. Shit talk is huge. Yes, these college basketball players care about shit talk no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, J.D. Williams, great. I love having him involved too. J.D. Williams was the one who told me Loyola Maryland was the play, and yeah, these guys are great cappers.
Oh my God! Here's a comment from King Rail. When a player on the team fucks 2 of his teammates' girlfriends, there's trouble in the locker room. UNLV.
Jesus,
I didn't know that.
I did not know that
Holy! Either. How did King Rail know that? They didn't show that. They didn't show that on the internet when I was researching. Wow!
Jesus!
Wow! I'm going to look into that just for entertainment purposes. A player on UNLV fucked 2 of his teammates' girlfriends. Wow. See, that's why I love these. Not only do they give us a great betting advice, but they give us inside fun info like that. You know what I'm saying? Wow. There's a guy who's just like, I don't care about the team. I care about getting laid, and that's what happened. And when you're looking, wow. All right, let's move on. We got so much shit to cover in college basketball. What else is interesting? Someone brought up Tulsa in East Carolina, asking about Tulsa. Yes, it's very tempting to take Tulsa here. East Carolina is ass. I'm going to have to think about that, look into it a little bit closer because it is a big road favorite line, and we saw Tulsa play South Florida earlier this year, and they won, but it wasn't a double-digit win. It was a 9-point win. So that's definitely an interesting game. East Carolina is complete ass, but
they must step up. They must bounce back. They just got completely embarrassed on a national scale.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna hammer that game as well, and I'm gonna be cautious. East Carolina has got to step up for themselves.
Okay. Yeah, another game that is interesting is, they're all kind of interesting. Wow. Oh, my God. Wow. I don't know if someone's out for NC Asheville, but I bet Charleston Southern at +8, and that's now down to 4.5. That's a 7 o'clock game. I'll look into. Wow, these lines really moved, Jim. Charleston Southern clearly has the capability of playing NC Asheville tight. That's a huge move from 8 to 4.5. I don't know if I want. I was another play I was going to give Charleston Southern +8. I did bet that one. I don't know if someone's out for NC Asheville or if that is just money. Wow, these lines are moving, and they're all moving in my favor. I should have tweeted. I didn't expect these moves. I like BU +6.5 against Lehigh. That's now down to 3.5. Wow. And I bet that one. I also bet Holy Cross at +8. That's only down to a 7 or 7.5. I don't know if I should take that as a sign that maybe that's not such a great bet, but it has moved a little bit. Wow. Yeah, it is down to a 7. I like Holy Cross against Navy. I'll give that one only because it hasn't moved so much. Again, that might be a not such great sign. I'm going to give Holy Cross +7.5. Let me find out if there are 7.5s available here. Let me just find that one. Find it. Where the hell is it? Yeah, Holy Cross. Oh, shit. There's no. All right, that's a kind of a good sign, I guess. No 7.5s available. I'm going to have to take +7 minus 102. That is the current line at Pinnacle, and maybe the first half on that one. Wow, these tournament lines are really opening big from moving from the openers. Maybe I should start tweeting these things out, Jim.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I missed some big line moves there. Another game that I'm thinking about: North Florida and Florida Gulf Coast on the over. Obviously, this is already. I didn't check what the total is. It's going to be high, but we know that both these teams really like to ramp up the score, and this game might soar over. Let's see. Let me just find the total. Okay, interesting. Wow, that one opened at 171.5. It's now down to 167. Wow, Pinnacle opened at 171.5. Big move to the under on that one at 167. Let me check the first half total. Yeah, these college because the sharper guys can find edges and they pound them on the opening lines and they can move these totals significantly. Let me find out because obviously, as I said, I picked North Florida over NJ Tech, and North Florida basically just always scores, but they play questionable defense. We know that Florida Gulf Coast is a super high-scoring team, so this one has overwritten all over it, even as at a high total. But I don't like that the market took a move down. Let's find it. It's 80 or 80.5 on the first half, and I will throw that one on there. I'll throw that one on there just to start. Florida Gulf Coast. First half 80. This reminds me of like one of those William & Mary games. You know what I'm saying, Jim? Sometimes the market was wrong about William & Mary totals. They would be modest and get bet down, and it would soar over anyway. I'm going to take the first half over here, 80 minus 102. That's the current line at BetOnline. That's a high total, obviously, for a first half in college basketball, but I'll take it considering the teams involved. First half over 80 minus 102 in North Florida, Florida Gulf Coast. All right, we're going to get to some other stuff. Let me just quickly make sure that any comments coming in?
Yes, my man iRetro Star says, you guys want a silver platter play? NC State.
Oh, okay, that's right. Who are they playing? They're at Georgia Tech. That line is also taking a big move. NC State opened at -4. It's now down to -2. I looked at that one for a few seconds, and I was like, I'm going to revisit this later. Surprised to see a big line move there in favor of Georgia Tech. I wonder what that's all about, Jim.
Yes, I look forward to diving into that. But, Byron Walter says Gulf Coast may hit 100.
Yeah. So the Florida Gulf Coast team total over might be also worth a shot.
Nostra Tota says over, Pete. Good call.
Yes. All right, sounds good. The market's taking a bet to move to the under. Another game that's interesting, Marist against Fairfield. Of course, that's at a neutral spot, and we have seen Marist repeatedly they're a dog shit team that has gotten some covers. They're getting 7.5. That line has not moved, which I guess is I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but tempting to take a shot with Marist at +7.5 against Fairfield. I might do that. Another one that's interesting, Jim, maybe you want to look into this game. We've covered the MVC kind of closely this year. Where is it? Evansville is at home against Northern Iowa, and Northern Iowa might have a couple guys who are maybe not at 100%, although that line has gotten bet up a little bit. Northern Iowa is -1 on the opener. Now it's up to 2. I was thinking maybe Evansville might be worth a shot, but not sure about that if I want to bet that one. All right, let's wrap this up because we got to get to an NBA and NHL, but oh shit, yeah, I'm always saying, someone comment, I'm always saying let's wrap it up, then I talk about college basketball for another 15 minutes. But all right, I'm just scanning down. Any comments coming in, Jim? I'm scanning down these games.
My man Jansen Bonzone is depressed about his capping, and don't be
Why is that?
Oh, and he says I like Evansville in this spot.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But Jansen, man, we love you, homie.
Yeah.
Keep your head up, man.
Why is he depressed about his capping? What shitty pick did he make? We make 5 shitty picks a day, Jim and I. What shitty pick did he make that he's depressed about?
I don't know. We love you, Jansen.
Yes, so, absolutely. All right, so let's just all right, so let me just review once again. I'll review my picks, give a once-over of the card, and then we'll move on, okay?
Cool.
Jim, the official picks I've given, Holy Cross +7. Thinking about giving the first half on that one.
This didn't have to be interrupted. Shit. Max Holt, I go to Florida Gulf Coast.
Okay.
This team is in a good mindset.
Yes.
Looking to pound teams and win the conference. A lot of people in the community going to the game.
Yes. That makes me like the over because when they're looking to pound teams, they're going to ramp up the score.
Yeah.
And if they start ramping up the score, North Florida is going to be like defense. We played it for one game maybe here and there. Fuck that. We're just going to we'll be happy to lose this game 110-80. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. And so sorry, can you just revisit the line movement in that
so that one the total opened at 171.5, which is obviously in the stratosphere, but I think very justified. took a big market move down to the under at 167. We don't know where this line will close. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back up because I'm definitely liking the over here, and the Florida Gulf Coast team total over might even be worth a shot as well.
I will take the over in this game.
Yeah, on the full game?
Yep.
All right, Jim's going to take Florida Gulf Coast. Let's do some line shopping here and find the best line for him. Where is it? 167. Blah, blah, blah. All right, 167 minus 110. Over 167 minus 110. I'm on the first half, and I might throw on the full game as well.
Awesome.
All right, so I've had Holy Cross plus 7. Florida Gulf Coast first half over 80. Tulane plus 13. I'm liking that one. Jacksonville plus 11. I might add, and I did add the first half on Jacksonville as well, plus 6.5. So those are my 5 picks so far. And again, my leans going over the card. Let's see. Boston University. I like that one at 6.5, but now it is down to 3.5. I did bet that one. Don't know if I want to get it. Thinking about Evansville. Let's see. Tulsa, East Carolina is certainly interesting. Let's see. Yeah, Charleston Southern. I bet it at 8. It's now down to 4.5. Don't know if I want to give that one. Bucknell might get a margin win over Loyola. Bucknell is really good this year. That's interesting to think about taking them at minus 15. We'll see if that line goes down a little bit. Some of the games that did not have overnight lines, I haven't had a chance to look at. Again, the Virginia-Louisville game, very interesting. Tempting to think about taking Louisville here, although they're getting just 4. We know how awesome Virginia can be. But again, my lean is definitely to Louisville as of right now. Virginia doesn't have anything to play for, and Louisville, you got to figure, will come out and give it their all, 100%. So tempting to take a shot with Louisville there. Marist plus 7.5 is definitely a lean for me. I'm thinking about throwing that one on there. And scanning on down. That's about it. And Idaho might be a good bet over Northern Arizona. Northern Arizona, I think, is a little bit banged up, and Idaho might absolutely roll here. So that's also a lean for me as well, Northern Arizona. And that's it. Let's wrap up college basketball finally. All right, Jimmy the Bag?
Sounds good, pal.
All right. Any funny comments coming in?
There's a bit of an argument going on, and Swiatek gave the odds on the fight.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, very funny. But yes.
I'm sorry. I meant to wrap up college basketball, but now I see a comment from 9110 Nostro that goes exactly the way I was thinking. He says, Campbell Camels, ride them. They can go deep and win the Big South. Yes, I didn't understand why they were an underdog. The only reason I didn't give that one as a pick right now, I did bet it, was because I didn't understand, like, they were a 2-point underdog. Now they're a 2.5 or 3-point underdog, but I was liking Campbell against Liberty, and minus 110 Nostra Tota likes them as well, Jim. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, anytime you're on the same side as North Dakota, it's just hammer it.
Well, I did that yesterday with St. Francis, New York, and we both got pounded on that one.
Yes, but they're always going to be losses.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
How many wins you get?
Well, maybe minus 110 Nostra Tota is just awesome in the regular season, but shitty in conference tournaments.
I find that impossible.
Impossible. All right. Anyway, minus 110 Nostra Tota. I was completely agreeing with you. I wasn't quite understanding why Campbell was an underdog. And now they're a slightly bigger underdog, so that definitely makes me nervous. But I'd be leaning Campbell. I'm going to look into this one a little bit more. All right, so let's see. All right, let's move on. Yeah, Eric Swiatek says Pete loves back in Marist. Yeah, neutral spot. It's a game that I think they can be competitive with. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the small NBA card, right, Jim?
Yes.
Let's throw up the NBA record. I'm tanking in NBA. I'm not doing well, but Jim is coming off a nice winning day. Let's see. Some other comments coming on in here. All right. So, Jimmy the Bag, NBA. We got 4 games today. When I looked, obviously the big clash is Philly and Cleveland on TNT. Line has moved a little bit in Philly's favor. It did open at 2.5. It was 3.5 on the overnight. Now moving back down, it's 3 or 2.5. That's an interesting game. What do you think? Is Philly just a team that maybe is going to be have a whenever they're coming off a big loss against the top team, they come back and blow out a weak team, and then they have another game against the top team, and then they lose again? What do you think?
Well, they can't be trusted on the road. Mm-hmm. Lost 6 of their last 7 on the road. Coming off the 102-101 loss in Miami on Tuesday night. Sixers have lost 11 straight games to the Cavs. Mm-hmm. 14 of 15 to the Cavs. That makes me think that they're going to be primed to stop that streak and stop the losing on the road. They just waived Trevor Booker to make room for Ilyasova. Cavs are coming off that 129-123 home win over the Nets. They didn't look very good. The new 4 did look pretty good. George Hill scored a season-high 26. Clarkson added 14. Hood scored 11 of his 14 in the fourth quarter. That was something I had called him out about in his first couple games, getting 0 points in the fourth quarter. Larry Nance had a double-double. His speed, athleticism, he's going to be in a good spot there with the Cavs. LeBron James averaged a triple-double for the month of February. First time he's ever done that. What I think is that I'm going to take the over in this basketball game. I have I can't count on the Sixers on the road. I can't count on the Cavs ever. It doesn't matter that they have a new roster. They're not accountable. They're not an accountable basketball team right now. But I do like the over in this spot. Swiatek says this seems like a Cavs spot for sure, but there's no way I would ever back them. I mean, take the words right out of my. That's exactly it. But it seems like just because the Sixers are bad on the road, these are two teams that can't be trusted, but they can be trusted to get buckets. So I'd like the full game over.
All right. Okay. It is right about where it opened, 223.5. The best line, 223.5 minus 109. That is at Pinnacle. Jim's going to take Cleveland over 223.5 minus 109. All right, sounds good. Let's talk about the let's see what else. Let's talk about the Minnesota-Portland game. How about that one, Jim?
Yeah.
Obviously, Minnesota has been a dead over team, over in 8 of their last 9. Portland can get up there too. I was thinking about an over here and maybe a first half over. What do you think?
Interesting. I need to watch this new Wolves starting 5 because they're going very big, and I tend to think, even though the big addition is Nemanja Bjelica.
Yeah.
6'10", 2015 European Player of the Year, their best three-point shooter. But he's another big, so they're going to have, now their lineup will have 6'9" Taj Gibson, 6'10" Bjelica, 7-foot Carl Anthony, and then 6'8" Andrew Wiggins on the 2. And then Jeff Teague. I just need to watch this team more. I should have taken them when they destroyed Sacramento on Monday night. I do think they're trying to prove that they can win without Jimmy, and I do think Andrew Wiggins is very happy playing at the 2 spot. Thibodeau said it's a matter of not playing a big lineup, but just adding the next best player into the lineup. Minnesota scores 111.4 points per 100 possessions, 3rd best in the NBA behind Houston and Golden State, but 24th in defensive rating, and that goes right perfect with your overcall. Wolves are 13-19 on the road, another team that can't be trusted on the road. Blazers coming off that 116-99 win again against the Kings. They've won 4 straight, 6-7. They're playing very good basketball. CRC likes Portland -5. Donald Mao likes Portland at home.
Wow.
Tomor, I like Portland here -5. Minnesota's won 2 games against shit teams since Butler went out. Nurkic is healthy since the All-Star break. Nurkic is going to be extremely important here. SJ Sharkar-Rees likes Portland -5. Minnesota garbage road team. Melee Payless Way. Portland first quarter play of the day.
Ooh, wow. See, I was thinking maybe just keep continuing to ride the over train here, but you're not totally sold on that, Jim.
No, I it's not that I'm not totally sold. I think that's the right play. I just need more time watching this unit. I can't figure out exactly how it's going to change playing so big, and I just need to watch them more. But iRetro Star is saying Portland. Everybody's saying Portland. Dylan S. love Portland. But Ziggy Balls says lean Timberwolves.
All right, Jim, what else do you like here? 2 other games.
Okay, first off, I'm on the under in the Lakers at Heat. But I was capping this morning with Remy CV, my man Jeremy, and he made the best point of anything that I had done in the capping. So I'll read. So the Lakers have won 3 straight, 7 of 10. Coming off 123-104 victory at Atlanta on Monday night. 9 different Lakers scored double digits in that contest after missing 15 games with a knee injury. Lonzo Ball looked good in his second game back, 13 points, 7 boards, 5 assists. Okay, so Lakers are 11-20 on the road. And then I'll get to what Remy's line was. The Heat are coming off a 102-101 home victory. Dwayne Wade hit the game winner at the buzzer. Tyler Johnson and Wayne Ellington are both doubtful with quad injuries, which means that you're going to see a lot of Dwayne Wade in this game. And whenever Dwayne Wade plays, he slows the pace down. Now, this is what Remy said. He said the Lakers' 3-game winning streak, and this is a simple thing, but he said it's come against very, very weak opponents. Hawks, Kings, and Mavs. Their 3-game winning streak is going to give them the market's going to overvalue that. And I completely agree that they're getting too much value. They're getting too much love for those 3 games against terrible teams. And I agree with him that the Heat are the play. So I'm going to take the under and the Heat. Okay,
the total as of right now, again, we'll see what it is in the afternoon, but Pinnacle has a slight lean to the over, so we can give you under 215.5 plus 102. That is the best line on the total. And then for Miami, best line, it opened at 4, now it's up to 4.5. So we can give you Miami -4, minus 108. -4, -1. Well, sorry, -4.5. -4.5. 4.5 minus 108 on Miami. All right, Jim. And I decided, you know what? Portland is struggling on defense. I will take the first half over on that one. I might throw on the full game over as well. I'm going to take Portland first half over 110.5 minus 106, and I might throw on the full game over as well.
What's that? God, I love this shit. What? Donald Mao coming in with inside information. The young team were out late last night in Miami. Oh, with the exception of Ingram.
Wait, what?
The Lakers were out partying in Miami last night.
Wow, really?
And I read to a start say Heat need this game with Wade back, something to prove. Ziggy Ball said this Pat Riley's former team's head coach. I feel like Heat -5 is too high. Awesome Donald Mao. That just gives me more confidence.
Yes. So that means that Lonzo and all them, they were all like, partying it up in Miami, huh? And also they're coming off a bunch of wins, right? So this might be a down spot for them, right?
This is awesome information.
Wow.
Awesome. And I was already on the Heat because I think that Remy is so... Oh, but Twadi says it's irrelevant. So Twadi thinks... I can understand both sides of the coin there. I do think it's just helps me. Melee Payless Way says Lakers being in Miami a few days.
I was thinking about the under as well, Jim, but I'm doubting myself a little bit right now, so I was going to see where this line moves. But all right, I'm agreeing with you. I'm thinking that the under is a good play here, and based on this information, I'm thinking that Miami might be a good play here as well, maybe on the money line. But we'll see where this line moves. I'll hold off for now, and that's it. Brooklyn, Sacramento. Do you have anything to say about that one, Jim?
Just that it's tough when you have terrible basketball teams and then they play each other. Usually we say that when the terrible teams play each other, it leads to more scoring. I don't even know.
Yeah, not necessarily, but I think in this case that might be the case.
I do think in this case that might be the situation. What is the line at right now?
Well, which one? The total or the spread?
The total.
The total is 214, and weirdly, it's one of those games where the first half total is curiously way less than 50%. The first half total is only 103.5. The full game total is 214, and that's not an accident there, Jim.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's very strange.
I'm gonna hold off and look at the line movement on this game. But let's move on to NHL. All right, Jim?
Sure.
Okay, Jim again has taken Cleveland over 223.5, Miami under 215.5, Miami minus 4.5, and I've taken just one pick, Portland first half over 110.5, minus 106. All right, let's move on to NHL. Definitely, we're gonna throw the NHL record up there. Jim still has a great record despite having had a bad bunch of days, and I am pushing up again myself. I'm up almost 10 units, which is very nice. In the NHL, it is a big card today. Although very quickly before we get into this, I just want to read a couple of comments that came in from some other people. Someone said that UTSA +5 might be low-hanging fruit against North Texas. I was feeling not no low-hanging fruit, but I was definitely leaning UTSA +5 myself, and I did bet that one. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, David Angeles says Texas San Antonio +5 low-hanging fruit. I don't know about low-hanging fruit, but I was definitely leaning that way, giving that as a pick, and I did bet that one. And then also other comments were May Less Way likes Cleveland, Philly first quarter over. Maybe I should take that one as well. Jim likes the over on that one, and Big L Corleone likes Kings money line tonight. We'll revisit that in the afternoon show for sure. I'm just scanning some comments that I did want to get to for basketball. Now we're getting to all the Portland comments. All right, so NHL, let's take a look at it. Jim and I both doing very well in NHL. Let me see if there was anything that I was thinking about. Well, I guess let's, I don't even know where to start. Let's, all right, what pick do you definitely want to give here, Jim?
Well, let's talk about our man Bill Butlicker saying Kings. Now they're up against a team that is improving and did make a play at the trade deadline to fortify, which they've done. But I'm telling you, Jeff Carter is an absolute monster. I am so impressed with how he's playing, how he's completely changed the dynamic of the team on the ice, in the dressing room. He gives them size, toughness, scoring, intangibles. They look like a completely different team. This Kings team, this is when they step up. Right? This is when they step up. With 18, 19 games left going into the playoffs, you do not want to meet this LA Kings team in the playoffs under any circumstances. I still think Drew Doughty's probably the best defenseman in the league. And then they got Carter coming in. Now they're big. Oh, man, I am very impressed. But Jackets coming off very impressive 5-1 win at home over the Capitals. Adding Letestu, Vanek. I don't think Ian Cole is much of a help, but Letestu maybe and Vanek should be a help for a team that can't score. They just activated Nick Foligno off the IR for this contest. And the Kings are coming off that very impressive home-and-home sweep of the Vegas Golden Knights. And this is a crucial 5-game homestand. A crucial 5-day homestand. Oh, perfect. Fading Jimmy, going cold 2 days in a row. Nice. Fade me all you want, triple beams. So I'm taking Kings on the puck line. So take the Jackets, triple beam.
Really? So you like the Kings here? Because see, I was thinking about a shot with the first period under on this one. This line has gotten bet significantly down. You don't think there's a hangover effect here from the sweep of Vegas?
No, this is a veteran dressing room, and they are going to step up in these last 18 or 19 games. I'm extremely impressed with how they look now, adding Jeff Carter and his size and toughness. Susanna says, careful with the Kings tonight. I understand. I understand to be careful with the Kings, but you have to take them as a favorite spot. And I don't want to take a minus 150 line or whatever it is, so I have to.
No, it's gotten bet down. It's all the way down into the minus 120s.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And the puck line would be plus 235. That's what I'm saying. What's up with the big line move in favor of Columbus, Jim?
Jackets are just playing great. They're playing great. That was a very impressive 5-1 win, and they fortified, and they're getting Foligno back. I can understand all of this. I can completely understand all of this. I can understand why the Sharps would be on the Jackets here. I get it.
Okay, so what do you want here?
I'm on the Kings puck line.
Okay.
Having that backup step up the way he did in that second game, there's a good vibe in here. I believe in this team. I just believe in this Kings team moving forward, and I'm going to take
All right, the best line is plus 235 at Pinnacle, minus 1.5. And I was thinking about a first period under. I know the under is a little bit tricky because it's one of those fives at plus money. But I was thinking about the first period under. I mean, Columbus is still a team that plays tight defense, right?
They are,
and Kings are the same way. And I think Bobrovsky should be okay. What do you think about a first period under here, Jim?
Yes, I mean, it makes sense. It should be a tight checking game.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking the Kings first period under. A lot of juice here, but I think that's for a reason. Under minus 130. That is under 1.5, minus 130. That is at Pinnacle. First period under in Columbus, LA. And I probably would have a lean to the full game under as well. All right, let's talk quickly about the Carolina-Philly game, right? Carolina, Stahl comes back tonight. They played well in their last game. Philly, though, rolling. Is this maybe a spot where Carolina with Stahl back steps up and maybe Philly finally has a down game? What do you think? The line is market is certainly believing that. There's been a big 20-cent line move since opening in favor of Carolina.
It makes perfect sense that this team would rally around Jordan Stahl, and that's why I have to stay off this game because you don't want to step in the way of the Flyers. They're playing excellent hockey right now, incredible hockey. Mrazek is a streaky goaltender, just threw a shutout, 3-0-0, 1.30 goals against average, 947 save percentage with the Flyers. They've won 6 straight, 10-0-2 in their past 12 games, not lost in regulation since February 1st. So you don't want to get in the way of that by any, that's just ridiculous. But in saying that, I really think this Hurricanes team will rally around Jordan Stahl, and this is why team sports are so wonderful. Yeah. So because of that, I think you're absolutely right. I'm just going to stay off this game and not even say which play I would make. It's just too difficult. Two things you don't want to get in the way of.
Yes. All right. Now let's move on to, I don't know if I'm going to have a pick on this one, but it's certainly interesting as hell. I want to see what Jim has to say about Pittsburgh, Boston, right? Pittsburgh is, now the Pens are coming off of 2 losses, and of course they do have the backup goalie in there, and Boston, are they maybe a little bit overvalued right now? They didn't do quite as well against Carolina as we thought. They struggled a little bit there. Pittsburgh off of 2 straight losses. What's your take on this game, Jim?
Well, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Penguins here. Now, this is not a good spot for them. They have had very difficult time. They haven't won in Boston since 2014. They just had their 11-game home winning streak snapped by the Devils on Tuesday night. They've had a couple days rest. They are excellent when they're coming off of rest. Yes, Matt Murray suffered a concussion in practice. We don't know how long he'll be out. Surrey, BC native Tristan Yeri will be in net, expected to be in net, 10-4-2, 2.58 goals against average, 916 save percentage. Gilted Chimps coming in saying Pens over. Melee Palis Way saying Pittsburgh, Boston over. Slay the Spread says Boston will find their skates today. Now, I think that Riley Nash is incapable of taking over the number 1 center spot that Bergeron has abandoned with his fractured foot. It's very difficult to play without your best player, and we'll see that moving forward. Rick Nash looked good in his Bruin debut, playing on the second line with Krejci and DeBrusk. But I think the Bruins just have not looked good lately. Something's wrong. Tuukka Rask is not playing that well. In his last 5 games, he's been pulled in one of them, allowed 14 goals, 896 save percentage. I'm going to take the Penguins here. I think they're gonna send a message to a team that they could meet in the conference finals. Twatty says that Jim has installed plexiglass around his bed.
G-Money NHL Top Shelf agrees with you. Boston's not the easy play here. Pens find ways to win with playoffs looming. They need points too. Pens money line. G-Money Top Shelf agreeing with you, Jimmy the Bag, and the market slightly agreeing with you as well. That line is headed down a bit from opening, about 5 cents. So you want to take Pittsburgh? What?
Yes, Pittsburgh on the money line.
Okay, Pittsburgh on the money line, and the best line right now would be plus 110 at the Greek. I'm thinking that if Pittsburgh comes to roll here, maybe this is one of those games we want to take a shot with the alternative puck line. What do you think? I mean, you think it's going to be a tight game?
It's not. Yes, I think that play works overall, but all season, when I have a dog team, I just take them to win by a goal, and I probably left money on the table doing it, but I'm going to continue to do that.
Okay, I'm just checking what the alternative puck line would be right now for the Penguins at Pinnacle, and let me just quickly switch to. Sorry. All right. Tell us about another pick you want to give while I fix my computer.
Austin Guy says Penguins are the play. Jimmy, only side I'm taking tonight. Omar Magana has a Minnesota lean. Bill Butlicker says Pens. That means Bill Butlicker and I are on the same play with the Kings and the Pens. That's great. Swiatek says Pens off 2 losses. Great spot for the Pens. Remy CV going Pens. We know how good they play off of rest, and they will show it tonight. They want to send a message. I have to take the Predators, and I have to take the over in the Predators-Oilers game. Nashville coming off an impressive 6-5 come-from-behind victory at Winnipeg on Tuesday night. Maybe the most impressive victory of the season. Newly acquired Ryan Hartman scored the game winner with a minute left. They've won 5 straight. Outscored opponents 25-10 during that streak. Captain Roman Josi has a goal and 11 assists over the last 5 games. Pekka Rinne's been dominant in Edmonton. Now, I don't really like these stats or care that much, but 4-0-0, 1.47 goals against average his last 4 games on Oilers home ice. Nashville's now tied with Vegas for first place in the West. They are the best team in the West. Predators are 17-7-6 on the road, 7-2-1 over their last 10. Edmonton coming off a 5-2 loss to San Jose. McDavid, Draisaitl, Strome are playing pretty well. I can't believe Camilleri's getting the ice time he's getting, but he's playing pretty well with it. Lucic, ice cold. 0 goals in 27 games, 5 assists over that stretch. Oilers 13-15-2 at home, 4-6-0 over their past 10. I am on the Nashville puck line and the over here.
Okay, I'm just thinking about a little bit more about the Pittsburgh game. By the way, the Pittsburgh alternative puck line is plus 278. Wow. So if Pittsburgh wins, maybe Pittsburgh on the team total over might also have some value. I mean, do you think that Rask is vulnerable right now?
I do think Rask is a little vulnerable right now, but I expect them to get his shit together before the playoffs start.
You think Pittsburgh, team total over 2.5 might be a decent play?
I do think it's a decent play.
All right, I might throw that one on there. Team total over. Yeah, 2.5 minus 128 at Pinnacle right now.
I'm on that right now.
Are you sure?
That's
last time we did this though, last time I suggested a team total and you went, oh, I love that one, and I didn't mean to put you on it. It was a loser, Jim.
It doesn't scare me.
Are you sure?
Not even in the slightest.
All right, well, I'll go on it as well. I'll line shop, though, for us, see if I can find something a little bit better. But as of right now, let me just also throw on the Nashville stuff. So what do you want here, Jim?
Okay, I am taking Nashville on the puck line.
All right, that'll be plus 204 at Pinnacle.
And I'm also taking the over in this game.
Okay, Nashville puck line plus 204. So you definitely like the Nashville team total over then. Let's see. Nashville puck line plus 204. And the over in the Nashville game, best line will be 6 plus 103. Nashville over 6 plus 103. Over 6 plus 103.
And what's the Predators team total over?
The Predators team total over. I'm assuming it's one of these 3.5s at plus money. Yeah, 3.5 plus 139 at Pinnacle right now.
Yeah, I'm a little. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'll lose 2 units then on the if that doesn't go that way. So I'm not going to do that. But yes, I like that, and I like that Penguins team total over.
All right. While I do some more line shopping here, why don't you give us another pick, Jim, that you might be liking?
Perfect. A lot of the guys have been talking about this Sharks team, and why not? How good now? We know that Evander Kane has questionable character. And when he goes onto a team with a lot of youth where he needs to be a leader, it doesn't work. But when he goes onto a team with a ton of veteran leadership like the Sharks, this might be a good place for him. Pavelski said nice things about him coming into the dressing room, and then he gets put on the line with him. So the line's Kane, Pavelski, and Donskoy. They combined for a goal and 6 assists in their first game together. I think this team has to be run with. The Sharks have to be followed right now. It could turn out to be an excellent pickup for them. Kane's never played in a postseason game. Drafted 4th overall in 2009. It's unclear if Martin Jones or Aaron Dell will start, but Dell just signed a 2-year, $3.8 million contract, which is wonderful for him. Sharks are 18-9-3 at home, 6-3-1 over their past 10. Yes, we run with the Sharks. Blackhawks are coming off a 3-2 loss at Columbus on Saturday night. They come in fresh. I'm not sure if that helps a team that's struggling when you have too much time to think about how shitty you've been playing. Jonathan Toews has been held without a point in 4 straight games. And one other reason why I like this play a lot, Jean-Francois Berube will be starting in goal for the Blackhawks. He looked very good in his start against the Sharks, stopping 42 of 43 shots. And now the Sharks have tape on him. And they know they're facing him again. And there's people watching tape on Jean-Francois Berube right now, and they will have the book on how to beat him tonight. I am on not only the Sharks -1.5, but I'm also on the over in this.
Really? Because I was thinking about the under. You don't like the last time they played it was low scoring. You don't think we're going to see the same thing here?
I think they're going to have the book on Jean-Francois Berube.
All right. Okay. So you want San Jose puck line?
What a great thing, Small Thrill just saying. What a perfect analogy. Says, yes, Jimmy, Kane is like Phil Kessel going to the Pens. What a perfect remark. It's absolutely right. Now, I do think I would rather have Kessel in my dressing room than Kane from what I've heard about the two guys. But yes, I think this is a big opportunity for Evander Kane, Vancouver boy, to reshape his image. And yes, I like Sharks puck line and the over.
Okay, so the puck line is +190. That's at Pinnacle, and the over will be at Bookmaker and the Greek and a few other places. 5.5 -110. 5.5 -110.
Over 5.5 -110. That I would say that is the total. Now, I mean, it definitely scares me when you're thinking the other side. But
no, I was just. I mean, it was mostly predicated on my expectation or my assumption that Berube will have another good game, and that's just the opposite. That's the main assumption here.
We have guys watching tape of Jean-Francois Berube as we speak. The Sharks have played against him for a full game. He's going to get touched tonight.
Wait a minute. Is this accurate? Is this not only could you have 5.5 -110 if you want it, you could have 5 -130.
Wow,
that's shocking to me.
That is shocking.
Is that an accurate line at BetOnlineSportsBetting.ag? I think that is. So Pinnacle here has 6 +113 on the over -125. This is why line chopping is so important. Everyone else has 5.5, and BetOnline has 5 -130 on the over under +110. This is why line chopping is so important.
I want that 5.
Yeah. Over 5 -130. And you really like this one, Jim?
I do. I really think this is the type of situation where a goalie's not going to be able to do it twice in a row. Elio Rodriguez has joined us. We gave you a shout out for your tennis picks. You guys follow Elio Rodriguez on Twitter. Follow him.
All right, so you want the 5 instead? 5 -130, Jim?
Yes.
Okay, 5 -130. That's the current line at BetOnline. Very interesting that they just moved to 5 at BetOnline, and that's why you can take advantage of it. There you go. If you want the under, you could have 6 -125 at Pinnacle. If you want the over, you could have 5 -130 at BetOnline. All right, Jim, what else do you like from the NHL card?
Well, those are my favorite plays that we've already talked about. But a very, very interesting game in Florida. This is another game that Remy, CV, Jeremy, and I talked about quite a bit about. And after talking, I decided to stay off of it. I think I think these are two teams that are coming together. Devils have won 2 straight, 6 of 8. Taylor Hall is on absolute fire right now. At least 1 point in 22 consecutive games. I said when the Oilers traded him that they were making a big mistake, regardless of character issues. He's a kid. He was a kid. He was a first overall pick and a kid. Of course, he was going to bars and clubs. You can fix that with proper leadership, and trading him away is going to haunt the Oilers for the rest of Taylor Hall's career. 15 goals, 17 assists during that span. Just the 5th NHL player in the past 25 years to have a 22-game point streak. Patrick Maroon is a huge pickup for this team because unlike the Oilers, who have a ton of size and no speed, the Devils have a ton of speed and no size. Patrick Maroon will help. They need the size, and they get Michael Grabner to be even faster. This Devils team is improving by the minute. 16-10-5 on the road, 6-4-0 in their past 10. Panthers opened their 6-game homestand with 3 wins against excellent hockey teams in Washington, Pittsburgh, and Toronto. They've now won 10 of 13. This winning streak has coincided with separating Barkov and Huberdeau. Now they have 2 very dangerous lines. Panthers are 16-9-3 at home, 7-3-0 over their past 10. These are 2 very good teams, and I'm going to stay off of it. Oh, look at what Big L Corleone says. This is what I'm talking about. Joe Thornton picked Kane up from the airport. That's veteran leadership. This is... God, man, this San Jose team, that's the reason why they continue to win is because they have these great veterans on their team.
Native Queen asked, I'm looking at the second half in the Wisconsin game. Native Queen asked about that one. I don't like to bet second halves on games that I didn't handicap, and because this was an early start, I just decided to pass on it. My initial thought would be a shot with the over 71 on the second half on this one. I might throw it on there anyway, but again, I don't really like to bet second halves on games I didn't have a chance to handicap pregame. But my first thought on this one would be on the second half over 71 Wisconsin and Maryland. What's that?
Hey, I got a nice comment from Casey Kroll.
Oh, yeah?
Don't usually catch the live stream, but I want to let you guys know that you are killing it. Appreciate the work you guys do.
Oh, thank you very much, and I appreciate that great comment read by Juanma. We should have a few more of those. We'll get some more comment reads by Juanma once things slow down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's just too crazy, but I love it when Juanma reads comments in general, and he's got a good eye for good comments. He does.
Oh, I love Juanma.
He's got a second sense for a good nose for sniffing out good comments in the comment section, doesn't he?
I absolutely love Juanma.
All right, we got to talk about Luongo. Do we talk about that game? Luongo suddenly playing well, Jim.
He's a streaky goalie.
Yeah.
We just broke down this game, and Corey Schneider has been confirmed.
Just one quickly. The market is moving strongly to the under on the second half in that Wisconsin-Maryland game. It's now down to 70.5. The under juice to -120. So that's a total pass. I'm not even thinking about betting on that second half line there. But I love second halves, Jim. All right, go on. Move. What were you going to say?
These are two teams moving in very, very positive directions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like getting in front of that train in the other game we were talking about, where you just, it's just scary. The Hurricanes Flyers. Mm-hmm. It's the exact same situation to me. I find both these games extremely difficult, and I'm leaving them off.
Okay, what about Minnesota-Arizona? Minnesota has been dominating, but Arizona won 5 out of the last 7, though I know against, questionable competition, to put it mildly. But they still won the games. Who's going to be in goal for Arizona? Is it Kemper, and what about an under here?
Well, it's going to be Antti Ranta.
Wama waving his hands again. Whenever Wama waves his hand, that's even more important than when I see a good comment. When Wama waves his hands, everything stops and we go to him. Wama, what?
Yeah, man, I got bad news and you put me on the spot, man. It's because I've been having orders from production that we should finish the show soon.
Why? We have a show coming up next?
No, not that much. I don't know. It's like half an hour or something like that.
Yeah, why do we have to finish up right now?
I don't know, man.
Who's sending it to you? Someone sending you a message?
I cannot say names. But no, we can keep going. I allow you. I allow you. I will take the bullet.
Yeah, just ask them why.
Let's keep going.
Just ask them why. All right, we'll go on for like 5 more minutes, and then we'll see what's going on here. But what do you think about an under in the Minnesota-Arizona game, Jim?
Well, Antti Ranta is starting, as far as I know. I don't know why they picked up Kemper. I thought that the Vegas Knights should have picked up Ranta, but then they made great plays. I shouldn't question anything they were doing, but I think Ranta is extremely valuable. I think he's going to be a good goalie in this league, and maybe a great goalie. 13, 15, and 6, 2.46 goals against, average .923 save percentage, 2 shutouts in his last 3 starts. He's won 5 of his last 6 decisions. I think he's a very good goalie. I think the under is an interesting play. Dubnyk is playing well as well. What would you get what's the line at?
Well, it's 5.5, like -122, but I was thinking about a first period under on this one also.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take the under here just because of how good Minnesota's looked, putting Stahl, Granlund, and Jason Zucker together. They're 3 leading scorers. They put them together. They now have an unbelievable 11 goals and 15 assists in the 3 games they put them together. 26 points in 3 games together after especially that wild 8-3 win over the Blues. Coyotes beat the Wild in Minnesota on February 9th. They came back from a 3-0 deficit to win 4-3 in overtime. Since that game, the Wild are 7-1-1. Gabby will not allow his team to lose games like that without just laying into them. Wild are 14-15-1 on the road. They've won 4 straight there. Remember before when they were 10-15-1 on the road, I said that record makes no sense. They're too good of a team, and they've shown it.
Yes.
Yes, I am on the Wild tonight. I know that the Coyotes are playing well at home, but I'm on the Wild on the puck line. Now, Jim Rummy says I'm back in the Coyotes Coyotes plus 153. Value is there. Good luck as the puck liners on the other side. Both goalies have very bad numbers against opposition. Under is a very risky proposition. I agree that the under is a risky proposition, and I agree with you that there's value with the Coyotes at plus 153. I think the only play that doesn't have value is taking Wild on the money line.
All right, so what do you want to do here? We do have to wrap it up, Jim.
Wild on the puck line.
All right, plus 184 at Pinnacle. All right, anything else you want to add before we wrap things up, Jim?
No, that is my those are all the picks that I wanted to make that I feel really good about.
And we're going to take the Pens team total over, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 2.5 minus 128. I'm taking that one.
Oh, okay, sorry.
2.5 minus 128.
Okay, I'll remember that.
All right, so here are all the picks. I have just 2 picks. Pens team total over 2.5 minus 128, and the LA Kings first period under minus 130. That's it for me in terms of NHL. Jim has a lot of plays here. LA puck line plus 235. San Jose puck line plus 190. San Jose over 5 minus 130. Nashville puck line plus 204. Nashville over 6 plus 103. Pittsburgh on the money line plus 110. Pittsburgh team total over 2.5 minus 128. And the Minnesota puck line plus 184. And that's it for Jim in NHL. And are we done, Jim?
We are done.
All right, that's it. Now we can wrap it up. And of course, we'll be back 6 o'clock Eastern time where we'll cover more college basketball and pro line movements. See you then.